Let me see. Oh, yeah, we're okay. Cool. All right. Welcome to episode 658 of the Black Brain Trust. This is Black Cannabis Talk. We're gonna talk a little bit of marijuana reparations. We're gonna there's a few other items we're gonna cover as well. We've got the Al Harrington Viola Cannabis profile we're gonna do here. Al Harrington, for those of y'all who don't know, he's a former NBA player who basically, in post retirement, got into the cannabis industry, right? And so he's got a really dope story. So we're going to cover him. Shout outs to Al Harrington, man. I'm really uh, inspired by what he did because it is what inspires me to do kind of what I'm doing in this space as well. So we're going to cover Viola Cannabis, tell you what that's all about. I got a few other items too we're going to cover. And then we're going to do a strain review because I actually got like a family friend dropped off a fat sack of blueberry. Yeah, grew it himself, dropped it off last night. I'm going to review it. We're going to see what's cracking with it. Let's see. I see Katzen already showed up. She, Sorbidati. Okay, we here. Yeah. That's what's up. Okay. Now the other thing too, today I wanted to go drum and bass, man. I know typically I'm giving y'all a little bit of that rough raga sound. I have some raga jungle queued up after this, but if y'all I don't know. Like, okay, I think what it is the blueberries kind of got me in more of a DMB vibe. You know what I mean? Which is cool. That works with the cannabis live streams too. So, if y'all can just throw a one in the chat if the sound is cool before I get started. I just need to make sure, man, because StreamYard, y'all already know what time it is. So just throw a one in there real quick if the sound is good. It sounds cool. Anybody there? I don't see any ones. All right, we got ones. All right, cool deal. And Engineering Cannabis is there. Hey, what's going on, brother? Engineering Cannabis, I need to talk to you. Can you press 3 if you're around later this evening? I can give you a call. You specifically. Can you push 3 if you're going to be around later, and I can give you a call? I need to update you on some things. Let me know. Press 3. Okay, so sounds good. All right, cool. All right, so let me do this. We'll pull up the first. All right, 3. All right, bet. Okay, awesome, man. I will ring you later. Okay, so let me do this here. I'm going to have to, this is going to be very brief. All right. Let's see here. It's going to be, all right. So this is from The Guardian. Chicago suburb to become first city to provide reparations to Black residents. Now, I gotta say this. I have to give the utmost respects and salutes to Mike V. I meant to dig it up, but there's a few live streams where we modeled out reparations with regards to marijuana legalization. So I'm not trying to say that they've been listening to our live streams, but I gotta say we were at the forefront of that conversation. Okay, and this goes back to the Ujima days. So I got to give a big shout out to Mike V because his mind was on this some 4, maybe 5 years ago. Okay, a suburb of Chicago is set to become the first place in the U.S. to provide reparations to its Black residents for housing through a tax on marijuana sales, with the plan to distribute $10 million over the coming decade. Evanston, which sits on the shores of Lake Michigan, north of downtown Chicago, which is beautiful, by the way. I love Evanston. I loved hanging out over there, Evanston Oak Park. It's all on the north side. Beautiful. It's set for an initial disbursement of around $400,000 for housing needs, with the vote on the issue set to take place at the City Council on 22nd of March. Under the proposal, residents would get $25,000 to use towards home improvements or mortgage assistance. To qualify, residents must have either been or descended from a Black person who lives in Evanston prior to 1969, who suffered from discriminatory housing practices by governments and banks. What have we been telling y'all this whole time? If you're going to get reparations, it is going to be from something that has future revenues. What is the first thing, commodity, national commodity that can be grown in abundance by farmers that comes to mind? Take a wild guess. Oh my God, we have been saying this whole time. This funding will be the first to flow in the wake of a landmark decision by Evanston in 2019 to financially compensate its Black residents for historical racism and discrimination. These reparations, set to total $10 million, will come via community donations and a tax on marijuana. Is mostly going to be a tax on marijuana. Bet on it. Robin Sue Simmons, a Black alderman who represents Evanston's historically Black Fifth Ward, said reparations is the most appropriate legislative response to the historic practices and the contemporary conditions of the Black community. Now, let me pause right there, because this was something else that we covered, because this happened in New York, and shout out to Magone, because he's in New York, and we talked about this literally when it happened. And you got to understand what happened there. Cynthia Nixon, the actress that was on Sex and the City, was running for the governor's seat. She's running against Cuomo. Okay. She actually had a similar plan to this. Now, she dared call it reparations. And you want to know what happened? Cuomo sicked his Black pastor dogs on her. I need y'all to just understand the game playing that's going on here, right? Just understand this. Oftentimes, it's been Black folks who's been in the way of your reparations. I just need to put that out there. Simmons said that although many of the anti-Black policies have been outlawed, many remain embedded in policy, including zoning and other government practices. We are in a time of history where this nation more broadly has not only the will and awareness of why reparations is due, but the heart to advance it. However, a group has raised concerns over the proposal, claiming that it doesn't go far enough to be truly called reparations. The group, Evanston Rejects Racist Reparations, posted on Facebook that historically racist financial institutions like banks, corporations, and various individuals will profit from the move. Okay. The money is going to have to flow. It's all going to have to flow, right? Like, this is where you got to take your feelings out. This is where you take your feelings out. See, the question is, that 10 million, how do you take that 10 million and turn it into 100? And then you take that 100 and turn it into 250. 250 to 500, 500 to 1,000, 500 million to a billion to 1.5. That becomes the question. The question's not about, well, ultimately this is such a, okay, well, that all depends on what you do with it. Hello. Depends on what you do with it. I mean, if you're going to spend it, yeah, somebody's going to profit. Yeah, absolutely. Or you could put it into a Black-owned bank. You could do that. And then your own bank's profiting. I'm just saying. Depends on what you want to do with it. The group wants the program to be called something other than reparations and for the city council to come back with direct payment to black residents. Wow, okay. Oh my God. All right. I told you guys how this is going to work. Stop with the direct payments. Because guess what you're going to do with the direct payments? Spend the money, and guess who's going to benefit? The same people that you're complaining about. Anywho, Simmons has dismissed these criticisms, pointing out that the council does not have the authority over banking industry. You're right, you don't. The National African American Reparations Commission, a nonprofit civil rights organization, has cited the Evanston program as a model for reparations for the rest of the U.S. I'm questioning whether you also had been listening to the Brain Trust this whole time. The U.S. has a spotty record. Has a spotty. Okay, typo alert. Okay, the U.S. has spotty records of discussing. It says the U.S. has a spotty records. Come on, in this, and you pay people for this shit. The U.S. has spotty records of discussing and distributing reparations in. Okay, there's another typo. In the past decade, not in past decade. In the past decade, with most plans falling short or happening on a minor scale. In recent years, however, it has become a wider. Holy shit! How did you let all these typos get through? In recent years, however, it has become a wider conversations. Yes, you heard that right, with an S, plural. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm being a grammar Nazi, but I'm trying to do a live stream here, and this is like 3 typos in 1 paragraph. In recent years, however, it has become a wider conversation. Last year, Asheville, North Carolina lawmakers postponed a resolution that would allocate $1 million. Oh, there's another one. All right. Why is there so many typos literally in 1 paragraph? Last year, Asheville, North Carolina, lawmakers postponed a resolution that would allocate $1 million in funds for reparations. It just, there's no N or no S at the end of fund. Allocate 1 million fund for us, or you could have said allocate a $1 million fund for, but no, allocate $1 million in funds for just okay. The mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, also signed a commitment to the idea for both black and who wrote this? Oh my God, guys! I'm so sorry, but what's going on? This is MSN. This is Microsoft News. What is? And that's the end of the article. Okay, that ended on a very bad note. Okay, so anyway, shit. Give me a minute. Oh my God. Ooh, that was terrible. Oliver Millman, he wrote this. Send your emails to him. Okay? Oliver Millman. Here, let me give you the link. Because Jesus Christ, you just blew my high with all your typos. There you go. Wait. Here's the link. Yeah, go read it for yourself and email him, please. What the fuck? Really? We Killed Dragon. I came late, but I made it. Greetings. Yeah, you're here on time, bro. Welcome, man. How you doing? Let me see here. Let me go ahead and hit let's see here. Okay, Black Paint. What's going on, brother? Welcome, or sister. I'm not sure which one, but All right, I see you hit the 1, the 3. All right. Yeah, JBA, what's going on, G? Welcome. Okay, engineering cannabis. You said tax on cannabis will work if you tax everything associated with cannabis, tech commodities, and yes, yes, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that. I think we have to look at that taxation being across the board. That way, what we can do, you know what? I think what has to be dug into, which because of the sheer amount of typos, didn't go into any details, right? But it would have been interesting to know what industries or what subsegments of the industry they're actually applying that taxation to. That is a very good point, engineering cannabis, because I think if you were to go across the board, something tells me they're taxing it on the sales, right? Something tells me that's what it is. It's taxation on the sales. But let's just say you were taxing the tech firms that were providing software as a service in the cannabis industry, where a lot of money is going to be transacted, and all of the other areas that we've talked about here that with regards to infrastructure. See, that's where a lot of dollars are being circulated. Okay, now if you were getting a chunk of that, yeah, now we're talking about, instead of 10 million, I don't know, maybe 100 million. There's a lot of dollars being circulated there. Absolutely. Print your own with the tax money creditors, top cannabis companies. Yep. Yep. Ricardo, what's going on, man? Ricardo Ronnie, peace, brother. Okay, so pardon me as I had to really struggle through that last paragraph. That was just that was tough. That was tough, you know. As somebody who fancies himself as a voracious reader. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Whoa, wait a minute. What the hell is this? How do I get out of here? There's an article here somewhere. Oh, wait. Jeez. Okay, there we go. All right. This one is from Rolling Stone. Salute to Mike B for shooting this one through. Let's see here. Rolling Stone, how Al Harrington is helping build a black-owned weed industry. We're pioneering something, says former NBA star and founder of Viola Cannabis, who says he wants to create 100 black millionaires by funding new businesses. Man, salute to Al Harrington, man. Salute to that brother right there. And he looks young, man. Look, he can still get out there and ball. You know what I'm saying? At the end of 2011, Al Harrington's 79-year-old grandmother Viola came to visit. Now, this is, I want to touch on this, man, because this is an interesting story of how he basically tricked her, man. I'm not going to give the ghost away, but if it covers it, if it doesn't, I'll tell you what happened. Okay. At the end of 2011, Al Harrington's 79-year-old grandmother Viola came to visit when the Denver Nuggets star discovered that she was taking multiple medications for glaucoma, diabetes, and high blood pressure. He told her that he recently read about treating glaucoma with cannabis and asked if she'd consider it. This was Colorado, after all, where medical marijuana had been legal since 2000. Okay, so check this out. Viola wasn't interested in smoking reefer, quote unquote, right? Harrington says, but he talked her into it when he confessed that her eyes were hurting her so badly that she was having trouble seeing. I said, well, if you're taking all this medication and it's not working, I think you should give reefer a try. Harrington procured some medical bud, helped her vaporize it in his garage, and then went to take a pregame nap. He checked in on her an hour and a half later. He found her in tears. She was reading her Bible, Harrington says. First time she'd been able to do so in over 3 years. Now, from what I heard, the way the story actually went was he kind of tricked her into it. Right? Like that's the story that I heard. It was like he actually, like when she said that, he this is what I heard. That's the story, man, of how he basically ended up forming this company, because his grandmother's name is Viola. That's why his company's called Viola Cannabis. And from what I initially heard, he actually tricked her into it. She did it. She vaped it because when you vape it, it doesn't smell like weed, right? And so he gave her a vape, and she did it, And I guess like all of a sudden, dude, her eyes, like she was able to read. And like that was why he was just like, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do when I retire. So that's why I wanted to cover this, man. It was some dope shit when I really heard about it. But it doesn't say it, but I remember the story because he said it. He gave her a vape because she was like, she didn't want to smoke no reefer. So the vape doesn't give off the smell, right? But when you vape the shit, I mean, you basically smoking weed. You're vaping weed, I'm sorry. Last December, the NBA announced that it would not test players for marijuana during the 2020 and 2021 season. Y'all didn't hear about that, huh? That was in the new CBA. Earlier last year, the NFL announced that it would issue players fines instead of suspensions for testing positive. So basically, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give you a weed tax. That's some bullshit. NFL. That's some bullshit, and y'all know it's some bullshit. Y'all know it's some bullshit. And Major League Baseball removed cannabis from its drugs of abuse list. So basically, MLB is going to turn a blind eye to it. That's basically what they're going to do. They just not even going to talk about it. That's what they're going to do. Al Harrington was way ahead of the curve. After playing 16 seasons of pro basketball, he founded Viola Brands in 2011. Like I said, this was way back in the day, and I remember hearing about it when he started the company, man. This was literally right. I heard about it right when I found out my wife had cancer. That's when I found out about this. Now it's a multi-state operation with business in California, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, and Michigan, and recently announced expansion in Oklahoma, where medical market is booming. The company experienced some operational challenges due to the coronavirus pandemic, but demand for Viola products fueled the business, Harrington said. We experienced a big shift in our customers' purchasing behaviors that require us to put more efforts towards delivery. But we've been successful in handling those dynamics, and we're even able to accelerate our expansion pipeline. Harrington, 41, salute to that brother, because he's younger than me, man. I'm 43, man. He's younger than me. Is determined to break down the stigma surrounding cannabis consumption, which is what this platform is trying to do. Changing the narrative of the way this plant has been demonized is something I'm very passionate about, he says, as am I. He felt differently about cannabis growing up in Orange, New Jersey. Harrington's mother, who raised him on her own after his father died when he was 8, cautioned him to stay away from marijuana, equating it to hard drugs like crack and heroin. It was at the height of the Just Say No era, when police raids and disproportionate sentencing schemes for drug convictions terrorized urban communities of color. War on drugs. Stop and frisk arrests regularly landed young black and brown men in jail for minuscule amounts of weed. Man, I want to say this was part of the conversation Johnny Blaze and I were having on Friday when we was catching up, we was talking. And I want to say we was talking about like the cannabis thing and stuff, because I was telling him I was planning to do this. Shit, you know what? I meant to text him. Damn, I meant to text him. Oh, I don't have my phone. Damn it. Oh, what happened to my phone? Okay. When I step away for a minute, I'll grab my phone and I'll text him. So when we were talking about this, I was telling him about just like, you know, how I had a lot of homies, man, get caught up when, like, you know, you could be on, like, you know, over in like Santa Monica and shit, and there'd be like some rich, like, fucking like white trust fund kid walking around in sandals with a fucking J in his hand, and the cops would be like, put that out, hey, put that out. All right, my bad, I'm sorry. Right, and you just throw the damn roach on the ground and shit, and just step on it, and then the cops just turn a blind eye. Right, you in the hood, you know, cops roll through, they get a sniff of herb. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit, man. Things have changed a great deal since then, with New Jersey legalizing recreational cannabis this month. Shout out New Jersey Weed Man. I don't know if y'all know about him, but that dude put in hella work. That dude's he's a damn legend. Not just in the not just for New Jersey legalization, but we're talking about for cannabis awareness. If y'all don't know who he is, look him up. New Jersey Weed Man. Look him up. Salute to New Jersey Weed Man. It's an exciting time in Harrington's hometown. From growing up and seeing two guys in my locker room to at school go to jail for having a dime bag of weed on them. Well, I'm just telling you. To it now being fully legalized is really great to see how far we've progressed, he says, adding that Viola Brands will advocate for people affected by cannabis arrests and convictions as the Garden State begins the legalization process. You damn right. In 1998, when Harrington was 18, he was drafted by the NBA, joined the Indiana Pacers. He was surprised to learn that some of his teammates smoked weed. Oh shit! That's when you get in the zone and put 40 in with no problems. Shit, you smoke the right strain. I'm not trying to call it a what do they call it, a PED. I'm not trying to call it that, but shit. I already know what I do on weed. That's why I do it habitually, man, when I go to work. Shit. It didn't seem to affect their game adversely, and he began to reconsider the It didn't seem to affect their game adversely. You know what it was? They told him, like, nigga, you want to know how I stay averaging 15 a game? I hit the J before the game. And he began to reconsider the notion of cannabis as a hardcore drug after moving to Colorado in 2010 to play for Denver Nuggets. Oh, because shit, he's up in them clouds up in Denver. Yeah, I see what happened. He was up in them clouds, bro. That's high elevation, literally and figuratively. Harrington was intrigued by the state's rapidly evolving cannabis industry. Anytime I picked up the newspaper, there was always something about the benefits of cannabis and how the industry was evolving, he says. When Harrington saw marijuana provide his grandmother with such relief, he knew he'd found his next move. Boom. That inspired me to take an in-depth journey into cannabis, he says. We're pioneering something. His foresight and instincts as a businessman are paying off. The legal industry generated $18 billion in sales in 2020. Plenty of celebrities have launched cannabis companies. Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg, even Martha Stewart has a CBD line. But Harrington is adamant that Viola is not a celebrity brand. That's what's up. That's why I had to really hip y'all to this. It's not a money grab, he says. We want to talk about We want to talk about impacting people affected by the war on drugs. Yes, sir. African Americans are 3.64 times more likely than white people to be arrested for cannabis. What that shit I was just telling you about the white dude in Santa Monica with a joint versus the brother in Leimert Park with a joint. What was I just telling you? While both groups use drugs at similar rates, the imprisonment rate of black folks for drug charges is almost 6 times higher than their white counterparts. Like I said, the white dude put that out. The brother in Leimert Park. Sir, I'm gonna need you come here. That kind of shit. Harrington is determined to give back to minority communities. We don't want to be sitting here making all this money with people still suffering, he says. Harrington has always wanted to make a difference. He founded an eponymous charity in 2007 with the objective of providing essential items to families in need. Viola launched a socially driven brand, he says. We had to figure out in what ways or partnerships we can give back in a meaningful way. He enjoys smoking now as if he didn't enjoy smoking back then, but anywho, and has cultivated deep appreciation for weed since his Colorado days. I'm sure you have. Where he recalls sitting in a grow room for hours. I used to do the same thing when I had a grow room. Tell me about it, Al Harrington. There's something special about sitting in those rooms and the way they smell. He's telling me about it. That's why I used to sit in mine. Listen, man, these plants are majestic. You guys don't understand. Having respect for the plant and realizing how detail-oriented you have to be when dealing with a grow. It's truly amazing. He emphasized the consideration taken in growing, manufacturing, packaging Viola brands. That's what I'm talking about. This brother's got it. He understands. Packing Viola brands flower, pre-rolls, and concentrates. One of the things that we want to focus on is our process, so people understand the care we put into these products for our patients. And he calls them patients. He didn't call them customers. Salute to Al Harrington. God damn it, I'm gonna reach out. I gotta reach out. I gotta reach out to the brother. I've got to reach out. This is dope, man. I'm really fucking with this. The conscientiousness translated into the philanthropic initiative called Viola Cares, which aims to help formerly incarcerated people transition back into society, working with the nonprofit advocacy group Root and Rebound. Man, fuck with your boy. Our goal is to dismantle the collateral consequences that come with having a criminal record, says Ileana Green, an Equal Justice Works fellow at Root and Rebound. The group takes a three-pronged approach by providing legal services, working to change drug policy, and public education. Once we get good laws passed, in order for people to benefit from them, they have to know what their rights are, says Green. Through the Viola Cares partnership, Root and Rebound created a toolkit designed specifically for people in prison for marijuana offenses, titled A New Leaf: How to Guide for Successful Reentry After Cannabis Conviction. It's a compact Know Your Rights guide, says Green. We have an employment chapter where we give people the lay of the land of the cannabis industry. There's a chapter on probation, parole, housing, all types of things you might need. There's also a chapter to assist people with drug convictions and cleaning up criminal records. The toolkit is available for download. Man, let me. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I give y'all the link because this is some really, really, really dope shit. Available to download for free on the Root and Rebound website. The nonprofit also offers virtual clinics to those with a conviction history. In addition to restoring rights to people with cannabis convictions, Harrington wants to increase minority ownership in the weed industry. A lack of access to capital and systemic economic racism has excluded minorities from entering the legal market. A 2017 survey found that less than a fifth of the people involved at an ownership or stakeholder level were people of color, with African Americans making up just 4.3%. How Sway, when it was particularly black men, and I'm gonna put the Latino men, black and brown, because in LA that's just what it was. They hit both hoods the same way. I gotta keep it real. At any rate, I'm pretty sure the ownership rate is probably around the same too, which isn't cool, given that you were policed the most. How is it that, again, the white dude who gets told to throw his joint away when the cop sees him has a majority stakeholdership? Something ain't right. Harrington has said he intends to create 100 black millionaires through Viola Cares by fully funding social equity applicants into cannabis businesses and helping underground brands go legit. Wow, he's trying to make the underground. What the fuck? God damn. Helping underground brands go legit. I hope y'all understand the coding in that language. If you feel me. Some black market brands have a massive following, but they just don't have the wherewithal to get licensed, as they can't get through the regulations, he says. He wants to use Viola's licenses and resources to get those brands into the legal market. Whoa. Let's make a deal. That's where ownership comes from. It's where it's not a job, it's their own brand. Viola Cares recently enlisted rapper T.I.'s. Oh God, okay, well. Okay, given his recent sex scandal, that might have not been the best move, but I digress. They recently enlisted him, though, as a social justice ambassador. Oh, God. Okay. Let me finish. To lead initiatives to make cannabis industry more equitable and inclusive while spreading the word about Viola's core values. Why do you go to Why do you go to somebody like T.I.? Why don't you go to somebody more credible? Oh, okay. When asked about the sexual, okay, there we go. When asked about the sexual assault allegations and a resulting defamation lawsuit recently filed against T.I. and his wife, Tamika Harris, representative for Viola, said, "At this time, we don't feel it's appropriate." Okay, God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. All right, listen. Okay, wait. Harrington continues to working because I don't want to shit on him, but I have a rant. I have a rant. It's going to come right after I finish this. Harrington continues working to raise awareness for the company and its mission. He recently joined Instagram Live by Senator Chuck Schumer to discuss Schumer's push to decriminalize marijuana under federal law. Just fucking legalize it. Why don't you? Jeez. Harrington may have political aspirations himself, but he's in a rush. I'm still young, he says. If I run for president, I'd like to run at 65, so I got 25 years to decide. Good shit. All right. God damn it. We got to talk about this shit right here. Okay? All right. Let me get my thoughts together. Breathe, Ulysses. Breathe. I need a woosah moment. Just give me a second, because this is where we as Black people in America shoot ourselves in the fucking foot when it comes to this cannabis stuff. Because here's what you do. You go and get a rapper. Who basically raps about doing shit, they were doing it illicitly. Obviously, they weren't rapping about doing drug transactions legally. So all of the shit in their songs were about them doing the shit illegally, and then you go and then you tap them to be ambassadors when they just it doesn't help. That doesn't help. And then you turn around and you go, well, 4.3% of people, or people of color, are stakeholders. And then it's like, okay, well, they're celebrities. And holy fucking shit. God damn it. We got to stop shooting ourselves in the fucking foot by propping up the fucking worst of us. Yes, I'm going there. Right? To make them the titans of industry. It doesn't fucking work. You have to do it with the people who have the goddamn know-how and the knowledge. In rant. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I'm sorry, you guys. It just pisses me off. What is it with Black people, man? You just wonder why you can't break through, like you can't do no shit, why people don't take you seriously, because you get a goddamn rapper, then you prop him up. Right. It's just another instance of just kind of like the backwards nature of things, Black folks. Oh my God, I gave myself a headache. Wow. Sorry about that rant, but yeah, it's just totally frustrating. Hey Art, what's going on, man? Welcome. And yeah, with the Dragons, I see you in here. Black Torch, what's going on? Mike Rizzy, what's going on? Okay, thank you, JB. I'm all right. So I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bad about that rant. All right, just goddamn, dude. Like seriously. Do you think I'm gonna? Oh, zip lip. I almost revealed something to you guys that I didn't mean to reveal for another few weeks. Zip lip. Yeah, give me a second. I mean, Mike Rizzy, bro. That's all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. You could have did that. Yeah. You could have did that. You could have what you just said. You could have did that right there. Yes. Yes. See, because when you do that, then guess what you don't have to do? Field questions about um, sex allegations, right? And what your take on it is, what you guys plan to do, what your business relationship with this person. To which you have to respond, well, we're not going to respond on that at this time. Oh God, oh God. Okay, the headache just came back. Oh shit. Oh shit. It came back. It just came back. All right. What does R. Kelly have to say about this? I don't know. He's in jail. Oh shit. Oh wow. I don't know what he has to say, dude. He's behind bars right now, man. I can't get a hold of him. His phone's disconnected, man. Somebody else keeps answering. They're like, hey, he can't come to the phone right now. So I can't tell you what he has to say about this. Oh shit. All right, let me shut up, dude. Fuck, I need another bowl. Wow. Holy crap. Okay. All right. Wow. All right. Give me a second. Shit. Okay. I had to get my shit together, man, because fuck, that was an epic rant. Even from my own, yeah, I don't typically have rants like that, man. That was epic. All right. This one is from Colorado State University. Salute to Mike D for shooting this one through. Insatiable demand for cannabis has created a giant carbon footprint. Uh-oh. Do we have another burgeoning industry, right? How do we address the carbon footprint created by the demand for cannabis? I don't know. Let's look into this right here. Let's read this article. It's no secret that the United States' $13 billion cannabis industry is big business. Less obvious to many is the environmental toll this booming business is taking in the form of greenhouse gas emissions from commercial, mostly indoor production. A new study by Colorado State University researchers provides the most detailed accounting to date of the industry's carbon footprint, a sum around which there is only limited understanding. What is clear, though, is that consumer demand for cannabis is insatiable and shows no signs of stopping as more states sign on to legalization. Oh, you don't say. The study published in... Oh, shit. Oh, you know what? I'll go back and do it after I'm finished. The study, published in Nature Sustainability, was led by graduate student Haley Summers, whose advisor, Jason Quinn, is an associate professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Summers, Quinn, and Evan Sproul, a research scientist in mechanical engineering, performed a life cycle assessment of indoor cannabis operations across the U.S., analyzing the energy and materials required to grow the product and tallying corresponding greenhouse gas emissions. They found that greenhouse gas emissions from cannabis production are largely attributed to electricity production and natural gas consumption from indoor environmental controls, high-intensity grow lights, and supplies of carbon dioxide for accelerated plant growth. Ah, that's interesting. Because, okay, that is one of those secrets, right? You do have people, and what they'll do is they have CO2 tanks, right? They have carbon dioxide tanks, and they literally pump it into the greenhouse for the plants to consume. For that plus light to the whole photos. They're literally trying to artificialize the photosynthesis process as much as humanly possible with low energy consumption LED lights and large amounts of CO2 or carbon dioxide gas that's introduced into the growing environment for the plants to consume it, plus the artificial light to create. It's just it does, the plants don't consume all of it. So if they don't consume all of it, it has to go somewhere, right? Let's see here. They found that the greenhouse gas emissions from cannabis production are largely attributed. Oh wait, I read that part. We knew the emissions were going to be large, but because they hadn't been fully quantified previously, we identified this as a big research opportunity space. Summer said, we just wanted to run with it. Now, I'm going to just kind of throw this out here. And engineering cannabis he will probably agree with me on this. So now you have a new sub industry, right? So essentially what we're talking about is energy losses. That's essentially what we're talking about here is energy losses. Perhaps what we may want to be thinking here is various types of energy recapturing devices to repurpose what okay, on the first level of I guess you can say processes, right? You're going to have your losses, right? You have your heat energy losses, right? So energy that's basically lost due to heat, okay, via the lights, for example, via the fans and everything else. Okay, heat is spent energy, that's lost energy. So whatever it is that you're consuming in terms of energy consumption, and then there's all of the machinery that does what it does, and then there's the heat and all of the things that are generated, that's lost. How do we recapture that? What about the CO2? How do we recapture it? How do we repurpose it? And so that it's not just wasted energy that then goes up and then, I don't know, contributes, right, to the waste energy. Things like CO2, greenhouse gases, and all that kind of stuff, right? So perhaps what we're looking at are maybe even more efficiently, maybe looking outside the box at creating more streamlined, efficient systems, right? That might kind of do maybe like an all-in-one, which then kind of reduces by certain percentages various types of energy losses across the board. So maybe like an all-in-one solution might reduce some total energy losses by maybe 20% or more, right? So that's something perhaps to consider. The CSU group efforts update previous work by Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory researchers, which quantified small-scale grow operations in California and predated the cascade of state-by-state legalization since Colorado was first to legalize in 2012. To date, 36 states have legalized medical use of cannabis and 15 have legalized recreation. Mapping of variable emissions. The CSU team surmised there would be substantial variability in emissions depending on where the product was being grown, due to climate as well as electric grid emissions. Their recently published work captures the potential cross-country spread of large commercial warehouses for growing cannabis, and it models emissions for several high-growth locations around the country. The results include a map that shows relative emissions anywhere in the U.S., as defined as emissions per kilogram of cannabis flower. Wow. They were able to reduce it down to literally how much emissions is emitted per kilogram of cannabis. Damn. They've developed a GIS map that allows users to enter a country name and find local emissions estimates. Shit. Their research shows that indoor cannabis cultivation results in life cycle greenhouse gas emissions of between 2,283 and 5,184 kilograms of carbon dioxide per kilogram of dried flower. Shit. Okay, anywhere from 2,283 to 5,184 kilograms of carbon dioxide per 1 kilogram of dried flower. Wow. Compare that to emissions from electricity used in indoor and greenhouse growth cannabis, which is 2.7 to 326.6 kilograms of carbon dioxide, respectively, according to a New Frontier data of 2018 Cannabis Energy Report. Those outdoor and greenhouse numbers only consider electricity, while CSU researchers estimate is more comprehensive, but the comparison still highlights the enormously larger footprint of indoor grow operations. I gotta be real with you. This is why I grow weed outside. This is why I grow my shit outside. The researchers were surprised to find that heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems held the largest demand for energy. Okay, so this is what I mean. Those are systems where you can't even consider any sort of recapturing of energy losses. You need that literally for the ecosystem. So that stuff has to basically just run just for the ecosystem to be primed to grow the most amount of cannabis you can per space, per volume, right? Like, you have to eat those costs right off the top. There's nothing you could even do to recapture those energy costs, those energy losses. Wow. But that's not actually surprising, though. Why would they find that surprising? That shit has to run 24/7. Heating, ventilation, or the air conditioning, that has to go 24/7. Yeah. Research found systems the largest energy demand, with numbers fluctuating depending on the local climate. Whether in Florida, which requires excessive dehumidifying, or Colorado, where heating is more important, right? So if you can go in places like California, for example, where you can, if you get a sophisticated system that can really kind of gauge and monitor the climate, you don't have to dehumidify anything. We don't have humid climate here, so you just have to keep the room cool. That's all you have to do. Sometimes you can do that with ice buckets. You don't even need like the AC running, really, depending on how your grow is going. The high energy consumption of cannabis is due in part to how the product is regulated, Quinn said. In Colorado, many grow operations are required to be in close proximity to retail storefronts. Okay, I didn't know that. And this has caused an explosion of energy-hungry indoor warehouses in urban areas like Denver. According to that's actually true in places like San Fernando Valley and the Los Angeles area where I'm from. According to a report from, I'm not going to say that. According to a report from the Denver Department of Public Health and Environment, electricity use from cannabis cultivation and other products grew from 1 to 4% of Denver's total electric consumption between 2013 and 2018. Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That means these guys are using really good lighting systems and stuff, and their stuff's really sophisticated. That's not bad. The team is seeking more funding for continuing their modeling work with hopes of extending it to a comparison between indoor and potential outdoor growth operations. Ultimately, they would like to help the industry tackle environmental concerns while legal cannabis is still relatively new in the U.S. We would like to try and improve environmental impacts before they become built into the way of doing business. This is where technology comes in. Now, let me do this because I need to make sure I post these links there in the chat as well. So, this was the link for the Al Harrington article. So give me a second. And then I'm really going to have to go around to the little boys' room because, yeah. That was the Al Harrington article there. And this is the article from Colorado State University. Okay. And let me check the comments here before I step away for a few. process of cannabis' power consuming life cycle of cannabis plant needs to be studied to know exactly how much light is needed. See, the problem with engineering cannabis, here's the thing. A plant can never plant let's see, they can never have too much light, right? And so the problem is that if you're going for volume and you're going for harvest growth, then what you're going to want to do is go for as much energy you can give the plant. That way it can process as much and give you bigger buddage. If you go with the least amount of light needed to bud it, it'll bud, but it won't bud as much as you give it abundance of light. This is kind of that's the magic sauce growing indoor, because proof of this is by sticking a plant outdoor. I'll tell you right now, the buds are going to be fatter, thicker, denser. That's just the reality of it, right? Because there's sunlight. You give it sunlight, it has an abundance of it. You can't pump out enough wattage through LED to give it artificial light to compare with the sun. You know what I mean? So I think I think it's the light technology. I think that's really where it is. I think that's where it is. So blockchain AI can save and run all environmental conditions for any cannabis strains in any region. Okay, this is what we were talking about right there. That's what we were talking about, right? There's going to be that stopgap, that go between, right, where somebody's going to come up with like a system where AI is going to really crank out what the plants need. Just kind of doing it like A plus B equals C, the way it's being done now, it's not going to happen. The way to hit the efficiency marker and the efficiency marker is by what you just said, engineering cannabis. It's going to be blockchain and AI to basically oversee the environmental conditions. If you can get it to do it to such an extent where the shit mimics outdoor to a point where the plants just are fooled, he who can do that, he who can create that algorithm, and I think engineering cannabis can do it. I have faith in you, brother. All right. Let me see. I have one other article here before we get into the strain review. But like I said, I've got to go to little boy's room. So here, I'm pretty sure this metalhead's drum and bass. It's basically coming to an end here, so I wanted to get my next joint queued up. And where is it? Where is it? Hold on, let me find it. All right, so let's see here. Hold on a second here. Because I thought I had it queued up, but I didn't. So give me a second. I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna step away, and then I got an article, and then I have a strain review, and we're gonna review some blueberry that actually is locally grown. Yeah, it's actually a family friend grew it, and I'm really excited to give you guys a review because this is coming from the hands of somebody that I actually know, actually. So now I don't think they know that I do this, right? So just so if you just so happen to know this person I'm talking about, and I'm being very nondescript, so I'm pretty sure you don't. If you do, though, don't tell them I'm about to review this. Okay. Shoot, where is it? Where is it? Give me a second. Where did it go? Where, oh, where? This is not it. But, here we go. Here it is, right here.
Now,
Okay, you guys, give me just a second. I will be right back.
I'm as mad as hell, and I can take it no more.
Don't let your mama down. Don't be a run around.
I'm as mad as hell, and I can take it no more.
Who God bless, no man curse. What lovers join, no man can divide. What eternity's will, no man can alter. Jah give I this and no man can take it away. Yeah. Stand down, them a gonna be shut them mouth. Stand down, them a gonna be shut them mouth. Them a gonna be shut them mouth. When you come, them a gonna be shut them mouth. When you gather now, lyrics are about. When you gather now, lyrics all about. Me reach down Africa, me tell it all about. Me reach down Africa, me tell it all about. Me don't like a man, me love talk and shout. Me don't like a man, me love talk and shout. Me wake up every morning, me wash out me mouth. Me wake up every morning, me wash out me mouth. When them a gonna fish up me mouth, you know when them a gonna fish up me mouth, when them a gonna fish up me mouth, they want to put big paddle up on my mouth. Tell them shit, Babylon come, them lick me in me head. Holy heap of people want to see me drop dead from pain. Tell them, watch them from pain. Tell them, watch them. Me have the pain in me head, got the pain in my neck. Come from me neck, in my chest. Come from me chest, in my back. Come from me back, the in my waist.
All right. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to. Me and my little one, we were planning, game planning, din. Because after this, I'll step away. We're gonna run to the store. We're gonna do some. I got a. I might do a video of this, man. She loves it. I make a collard green and black eyed pea stew, and she loves it. It's vegan, and I'm really trying to pivot. I'm pescatarian, but I'm trying to get off, just go full vegan. So it's a process. Let me check the chat here. You said with a Tampa with the rope thing. Okay, yeah. I don't know if Engine. I don't know if you're still there, bro. But JB had a question for you. Let's see. Nick Cannabis, the only nation giving away money from the launch research into the plant. Growth conditions in China. Mike Rizzi, Israel also. Yeah, Israel too. Actually, Israel has been at the forefront on the low. Some even speculate a lot of strains that make it here come from there, but well, not California. Like a lot of shit here comes from NorCal. Well, NorCal and SoCal. But for me, I like to grow my own shit. I'll like I said, I collect seeds, so I'll just grow stuff, and then I go to spots and I'll buy like the old strains. I like to buy like a lot of the old strains that because a lot of the new stuff is so hybridized now. It really gives you this. I'm gonna get into the review here after this next article, but you'll notice I'm very particular about my strains. I don't just buy any old thing. You know what I mean? It's like if I do, for daily smoke, I need like a 50-50 or something that's more sativa than indica, right? But when they have like older strains in the shops, I get older strains. I know what those smokes are gonna be about. When they're hybridized, you're basically just getting different variations of 50-50. So you're really kind of going for smell and taste at that point. Effect, kind of the same, really, to be honest with you. Let's see. You said these variables will look at the. Oh, okay. I'm just reading the comment here. These variables will look at based on strain, location, such as lighting, ventilation, water. Yeah, we were talking about and time to do it. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's see here. All right, this is from Marijuana Business Daily, mjbizdaily.com. Hold on.
Sing it and we walk in a Birmingham. Singing at the trade, never try to live.
There we go. All right. After Tilray Cannabis merger talks overcame pandemic pause, rival bidder, and other hurdles, Proxy reveals. On again, off again, merger talks between rival cannabis producers Tilray and Aphria had their genesis in October 2019 when an unidentified investment bank active in the marijuana space pitched a meeting between the company's respective CEOs. From there, the blockbuster merger took more than a year to finalize. Talks were placed on hold as the pandemic emerged and the terms were subject to significant revision. At the same time, an unidentified Company A eyed Aphria as a potential merger partner in the midst of the talks with Tilray. The unrequited courtship played out from July to October, according to the filing, which reveals numerous previously undisclosed details about the transaction. In short, the proxy lays out the timeline of how Nanaimo, a British Columbia-based Tilray and Leamington, Ontario-based. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me get that right. In short, the proxy lays out the timeline of how Nanaimo, British Columbia-based Tilray. Okay, Nanaimo is in British Columbia. Okay, and Tilray is based there. Okay, and Leamington, Ontario-based Aphria. God damn, you guys couldn't have wrote that a little bit. Is it typo Sunday or something? Ontario-based Aphria finally shook hands in December on a marriage to create a giant international marijuana firm with a combined equity value of about 5 billion Canadian dollars. We've been telling y'all since day one on the North American continent, Canada was the first to legally to nationalize legalization, and because of this, they were going to be at the forefront of this industry on the North American continent. The United States is still dragging its damn feet. The filing further underscores how the COVID-19 pandemic has scrambled the company's cannabis M&A market, complicating delicate merger talks to create the world's largest global cannabis company. This is going to be Canada, y'all. Neither of the companies engaged neither of the companies engaged the investment bank as part of merger talks after the first meeting. The spurned third-party suitor, Company A, I wonder who that is, Company A. Emerged in July and proposed exploratory discussions regarding a potential merger. Afria CEO Erwin Simon told the company's board last month. Company A made its first offer in mid-September. Who is Company A? However, that suitor was not as attractive as the potential transaction with Tilray, since the proposed Company A transaction undervalued Afria's contribution to the combined entity. Afria concluded at a September board meeting, according to the filing. At the same meeting, Afria's board instructed management to inform Company A that it was uninterested in pursuing a transaction on the terms presented to Afria. Nonetheless, the two companies continued to engage in discussions about a potential deal between September 23rd and October 23rd, 2020. Finally, on October 24th, Afria's Transaction Advisory Committee met to discuss Company A's latest offer. Who the F is Company A? Or maybe they're called Company A. I don't know. The committee members were concerned with respect to the share consideration contemplated in the proposal in light of the recent increase in the share price of Company A and the multiples at which it was trading, according to the filing. Mid discussions with Company Tilray and Company. I guess they're called Company A. That's weird. Afria was also deep in talks to acquire U.S. craft brewer Sweetwater. Engineering Cannabis keeps talking a lot about how the alcohol beverage market and the cannabis markets are going to overlap. And we just see proof of that right there with the acquisition of a craft brewery, Sweetwater. Interesting. First meeting between Tilray and Afria took place November 22nd, 2019 in New York. The participants, Afria Simon, Tilray Chief Corporate Development Officer Andrew Pucher, and Tilray board member Michael Auerbach, acknowledged that the company's Canadian and international operations appear to be highly complementary, and that a combination of the businesses could result in significant new business opportunities and cost and revenue synergies, the filing notes. Simon and Tilray CEO Brendan Kennedy then met Orlando, Florida on January 14, 2020 to discuss the merits of a potential merger. The two had previously become acquainted at industry conferences. Exactly 1 month after the Florida meeting, Tilray offered a first draft of a non-binding term sheet for a merger. Tilray envisioned an all-stock deal, no cash, with shareholders of Tilray and Afria owning 56 and 44% of the combined entity, respectively. According to that draft, combined company was to take the Tilray company name. Kennedy would serve as CEO and Simon as the executive chair. The board would be split 50-50, with 4 directors assigned by Tilray and 4 by Afria. 3 days later, Afria pitched a revised ownership split of 55-45 for Tilray and Afria, respectively. Now we're arguing numbers. Look at that, 1%. Tilray's management and advisors briefed the company's board on February 21st about recent discussions with Afria, as well as combinations with other potential merger partners and acquisition targets. So we got options. Exactly 1 week later, after Simon addressed Tilray's board to introduce himself and explain his perspective on the cannabis industry and his vision for the two companies should they combine, the filing notes. The pandemic hit around that time. At an after board meeting on March 18th, Simon said the possible transaction with Tilray would be put on hold in light of rapidly changing events related to COVID-19 global pandemic. Yeah, because, had a little bit of stock in these companies and saw what happened when that happened. However, Kennedy and Simon remained in contact via telephone and email. On and off talks continued over the course of the next few months as discussions were paused a number of times. The companies considered a number of alternatives, while Afria received an offer from Company A on September 13th. Afria's potential deal with the mystery company. So wait, they're not called Company A. Who is Company A? Company A is a mystery company. That's what they are. But we don't know who they are. Who are these people? Come on out, Company A. Tell us who you are. Sorry. I'm like literally like, who the F is Company A? Let me see here. Okay, I was going to express concerns, perspectives, share consideration, and contemplated in their proposal in light of the recent increase in the share price of the unidentified business. Yeah, they're sitting there like, well, wait a minute. Who is this unidentified company whose stock just keeps rising out of nowhere and we don't know who they are and they want to buy us and then we're like, we're supposed to agree to it? Huh? Afria's management believed acquiring Tilray would tick off a number of boxes, such as assisting Afria with its U.S. strategy, providing access to European markets through Tilray's presence in Portugal, allowing for Cannabis 2.0 product extensions. Cannabis 2.0. Sometimes I think this platform has more influence, than I think most times, right? And creating synergies with Afria's existing facilities. Afria and Tilray exchanged drafts of an agreement between October 9, 2020 and October 12, 2020. One of the proposed deals, according to the filing, contemplated, among other things, an equity ownership split 60-40 and an assumed debt for equity exchange. Oh, okay, so they're going to take on $200 million of debt for that additional 5% ownership. After again ceased discussions, they were like, no. This time in early November to complete the Sweetwater deal. Oh, so they were like, well, we're gonna complete this deal and then come back to the table and then we'll renegotiate. I see you. Talks did not resume until the end of November. The final deal's terms were announced December 16th, including an equity ownership split of 62% for Afria, 38% Tilray. Simon keeps the CEO title, almost the reverse of the first deal pitched by Tilray. But you know what? Tilray went and got that company, Sweetwater. That's what it was. See, y'all, this is called that big bank take little bank, that big industrial shit. Y'all don't even know how the big boys play the game, man. That's really what this comes down to. All right. Yeah, you're right, man. Import and export cannabis about to explode, man. Absolutely. Okay, let me do this. I am going to step away. I'm going to go toke a little bit of blueberries so I can give you guys a better review. And then we'll go ahead and shut it down because we're going to come back later this evening for a Sapio live stream. But after I shut it down, we got to run to the grocery store and get din. So let me do this. All right. I'm going to mute for just a second. You guys go ahead and rock out to the Raga sounds. And yeah, we'll be back for a review of Blueberry.
Are you know mafia? You must look at that. What's here? Hey! Look at that. Move! Here, fever. I think it fever. Move!
Real star. I wait man the Rasta a long time in the city I no dread. Master, not true to the war, me have a master one like a whole and thing. But anyway, no peace treaty, so me have to come out and get like a fresh air.
Dedicate musical day to all youth and youth. Black people and money to me, the jagga play. Because it's a play coming on me, you know. Tell your bomb and somebody the way come on and tell your bomb and someone say no banana feed no way. Me say me can't take the running way I want. Me say me can't take the running way I want. I tell you fire can't really walk on the road and peace. Can't really walk on the road and peace. Cause everywhere you go I'm on a judge you. Cause everywhere you go I'm on a judge you. Man him just a ask the way you come from. Well let me tell him just a ask the way you come from. Well, let me tell you for the whole of we are black man. Well, let me tell you say the whole of we are black man. I will me say, me come from the land, me say me not gonna do no wrong. Me come from the land, me say me not gonna do no wrong. Me say I speak a musician. Bangly bang, say I speak a musician. I will me say, come make down, go and beg you make down. Come make down, go and beg you make down. No man don't feel no way you coulda hit me when me say me can't take the running way you want. Mommy say me can't take the running way you want. Man about a fight against
Universal Field Marshal, no partial, who played the boy selection without objection.
You dance a go cock. When I play musical this from the double. Man say nobody seek no trouble. Say so. The dance a go cock. The dance a pick up. The dance a pick up. The dance a pick up. And the Rico a go sell up. I tell you when the people a go raw. Say so. Say one time Ghana did cha-cha-cha. But this a little time them say the bossa nova. But this a rockers forever. But let me tell you this a rockers forever. Say so. The dance a pick up. The dance a pick up. The dance a pick up. The liquor a go sell up. I tell you say Rico a go sell up. I tell you when the people are gonna rough. Say so. Come and say get up, stand up and dance. Come and say get up, stand up and dance. Well, watch it now. Get up, stand up. Come and say get up, stand up and dance. Till you see the brother does a dance. Skank it. Rock it. Mash it. Lord knows how I feel.
All right. Let's see here. The Reefer Man, more hemp than human. Welcome. Okay. So you were chatting to see on cannabis legalization news. Not sure if I follow. Okay. I was reading the comments there. Yeah. Just got back and yeah. All right. So let's do this. All right. I just partook in some blueberries, so we're going to talk about it, man. Now, blueberry is a strain that I'm not new to. It's been around for quite some time. I would say probably like in my early smoking days is when I really blueberry is one of the first joints that I tried, and I liked it because one of the things about it right offhand is its namesake, blueberry. It's a very fruity smell. It doesn't smell like quote unquote weed. It smells like fruit. It smells like blueberry. It's really like a mix of dark berries: blueberry, raspberry, plum, cherry. Trying to think what else. What else to throw in there? It's usually those four right there. It just had if you just had like a fruit medley with those right there, that's blueberry for you. Blueberry is an indica marijuana strain made by crossing purple Thai with Thai, a true A-list cannabis strain. Blueberry's legendary status soared to new heights after claiming the High Times Cannabis Cup in 2000. Like I said, man, my formative smoking days. Like I said, that was right when, yeah, when I actually, it was more like 2003 or 4. I think that was for me. And by that time, when 2005 hit, and in 2005, that's when they started having dispensaries in California, right, where you can go in and buy weed. And blueberry was on deck. I'm just gonna tell you, blueberry was on deck. The long history of the strain goes back to the late 70s when American breeder DJ Short. Now, DJ Short, for those of y'all who don't know, he's a legendary breeder. Another one is Shanti Baba. I think that's his name. Shanti Baba, DJ Short, Jorge Cervantes, or well, his real name that's what he was growing under. His real name is George Van Patten. But if you look him up now, like he doesn't do he used to make videos back in the day, right? And he would disguise himself and he would go under the name Jorge Cervantes. And he got knocked because he used like a Latino name, right? And his name is George Van Patten. He's a white dude. But now that the shit's legal, he's come out as who he is, right? And he's actually a really chill dude, but he took a lot of criticism for that shit, and I thought that was kind of fucked up. The long history of the strain goes back, American breeder DJ Short was working with a variety of exotic landrace strains. However, throughout the decades, blueberries cultivation, the genetics have been passed around due in large part to DJ Short working with multiple seed banks and breeders. So basically what he did was he created the breed and then he just hooked a bunch of people up with it. That's how the breeders used to be back in the day, man. They would just like make the best shit because they already have the dudes that would get it from them and sell it and give them the money, right? But then there's like the ego part, right? They want to be known. So they have like a breeder name, and like the top dudes who could grow it and get it out there and get it onto the streets, they would get them either seeds or cuttings and shoot it to them. And that's what the OG breeders used to do, right? So like, yeah, DJ Short, he's one of those dudes. The sweet flavors of fresh blueberries combined with the relaxing effects to produce a long-lasting sense of euphoria. Many consumers utilize blueberry to help contend with pain and stress, while connoisseurs and growers admire the strain for its colorful hues and high THC content. Oh yeah. Let's look at some of the wait, I don't know if there's other pictures of it. No, there's not. It's right here. There you go. All right. So how is it? Well, let's look right here. I pretty much agree for the most part with Leafly's sort of review of it. Relaxed, happy, euphoric. Has more of a calming effect, which it really does. It's not a I wouldn't say it's it's an after work weed. I wouldn't say it's a work weed. It's not. This isn't something you smoke either in the morning or during the day, to be real with you. This is after work. This is basically 3 or 4 p.m. onward to late night. I would even say it's also good sex weed. Hello. I'll throw it in there too, right? So that's the kind of herb this is. Dominant terpene is myrcene. We're gonna get into that right now. Let's take a look. Now, I was just telling you here. It's very fruity. Okay, so we're gonna go down. Oh wait. Oh. Wait. Okay, there it goes. All right. Okay, so we're heavy in myrcene right here, right? We're heavy in myrcene. So, somewhat citrusy, right? Herbal, musky. Okay, so it's heavy in this myrcene, but we got to go down to down here with some linalool, right? Very floral, sugary. Like I said, more like dark fruit. It's more of a dark fruit, so you get a lot of like you like I said, blueberries, raspberries, plums. Very very sweet, very sugary fruits, dark fruit. So we got linalool and myrcene. Why myrcene in terms of the heaviness? Because all of the effects you're going to get is pretty much right here. It's hitting on the money. Anti-inflammatory, sedative, muscle relaxing, pain relief. Again, it's calming. Okay, so you're going to get the heavy myrcene effect. However, there's a linalool component to it because of the other aromas here. Like I said, very floral and sugary. It just gives you dark fruit, like a dark fruit medley. That's what it gives you. Now, I would say, in terms of a rating for this herb, I would say it's a solid 7. Right? It's a solid 7 because I'm not necessarily an indica guy myself, right? Indicas for me, or anything that's indica heavy, it's because I'm sore. It's because my body's beat up, right? So I tend to prefer something that's more 50-50 sativa heavy or sativa, right? But this being an indica, I'll give it a 7.5. I'm just not a heavy indica guy in terms of my preference, so it's hard for me to give it a high rating because I really don't like how indica puts me, right? But just rating it on aroma, taste, effect, yeah, it's a 7.5. 7.5. Yeah, it's one of those. See, that's the type of herb where I snap a bowl or two and I gotta let it go. I gotta leave it alone. I smoke too much. I want to take a nap. I'm rendered useless. I can't do anything. Yeah. So, but for what it is, I like this batch that I got. The dude who grew it did a good job. Did a good job. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see, Mike Rizzi, you say you give blueberry an 8 or a 9. Okay, so you're an indica dude, I assume. Like I said, indica has its use, especially with the women. I'm debating on whether I should go there as a topic for one of the Cannabis live games. Which weed works well with women? www. No, that's actually www. Which actually it's 5 W's. Which weed works well with? A 6. Which weed works well with women? Oh, that's funny as hell. No, because there is actually. Because I have a story about one ex-girlfriend, man. She freaked the hell out, man. She smoked the wrong shit. And then there's other times she smoked the right shit, and Jesus Christ. Anyway, no need to go into that right now. What are you talking about? Let's see. And I think you're indica and not Stephen Pretty Mother. I'm not. Don't really follow. Okay. Okay, yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and end this off with a solid 7.5. Mike Rizzi disagrees. He says 8. He's an 8 or a 9, depending on the quality. I'm assuming. So he's more of an indica guy. I assume that's my other assumption. I like all equal. I like all equally. Indica, sativa, or hybrid depends on the situation. I'm sativa hybrids, yes. Indica, it's like I said, man. I'm a type. I just can't have indica. It just brings me down too much, and I don't like that. For some strange reason, I like to be able to, like, at a moment's notice, if I got to do something, I want to get up and be able to do it. And indicas just put me in it puts me where I don't want to do shit. That's just, I can't do it, man. What is pure sativa anyway? Just like what is pure what is pure sativa? Durban poison. Try it sometime. From South Africa, man. From Durban. There aren't too many pure strains, but there are some out there. Smooth. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me get you the link. I told you I share my music. I'm not a hater. Hold on. This is Madlib's 420 Chalice All Stars album. So he basically took a bunch of rough sounds and did a mashup. Let's see here. Let me grab it. There we go. Oh shoot. Let's see here. Hold on, let me post it for you. Boom. There you go. Courtesy of your boy. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, there you go, Mike. I mean, dude, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really sure. I just literally reviewed a pure indica, and that's the reason why I gave it a 7.5, because indicas make me a little stuck, man. I don't like being stuck. I don't like couch lock. You know what I'm saying? And Durban is my shit. So yeah. But yeah, man. So that's pretty much the cannabis, black cannabis talk for today. Yeah, blueberry 7.5. Like I said, man, if you do the indica thing, Mike Rizzi, you know, he done bumped it up to an 8.5, 9. You know, if you do the indica thing. Like I said, I don't really like how indicas put me, but taste, smell, right, effect, I like it. I just can't smoke a lot of it, man, because it's gonna make me want to go Betty Bye. Yeah, I'm not really sure what Reefer Man's talking about. Is it really true indica though? Yeah, it's, dude. I just read. Hold on, let me do this. I mean, the strain does have parentage, man. DJ Short was the one who bred it, so don't argue with us. Argue with the breeder. Boom. There you go. Come on, man. We do our homework over here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We do our homework over here. So there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Me and the little one, we're gonna go ahead and head to the grocery store and get ingredients for Din Din. And I'm just stating philosophically. Oh, Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe you're new here, but I grow the shit. I smoke the shit. We do live streams on the shit. I'm not really philosophical with it. I'm hands on with it, bro. Oh, you know what? Hold on, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna show you how hands on with it I am. I'm gonna show you. I don't really do philosophy, man. Not when it comes to weed, anyway. I smoke too much of it to be philosophical about it. Let me show y'all something. Watch. Hold up. And we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna show y'all this. Oh wait, no, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. I think I meant to do that. There we go. So this is what I'm growing right now. What I plan to do is every week I'm gonna go out and I'll film my plant. This is white mints. This is what I'm growing. Now I got this from a good brother who is a local grower, and he grows some really good stuff. And so I got this clone from him. I traded some seeds for this. And this is what I'm growing. So this is week 3. Again, this is white mints. This is a 50-50 hybrid. However, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. So she's 3 weeks old. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna go and shoot. I'll do the update video tomorrow. And what you see right here, she doesn't even look the same. She's doing a lot more than this since I shot this. Yeah, you can see a lot of indica in it. But when it starts to mature, that's when the sativa starts to come out. I've already seen this plant growing already, and it is gorgeous. So yeah, that's the grow that's going on right now. So yeah, I'm not really sure what all these comments are about, but I'm not gonna read them right now because I gotta go. So I thank you guys for coming through, checking out the live stream. Go ahead and hit the like button if you like cannabis related content. Share it with your cannabis connoisseur friends, and we will be back later on this evening for the Sapio live stream. Peace.